Shalom, like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the bonus to the apostles of Great Millstone, of whom I learn is truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect, of whom I hope to be. My name is Connor Walk from GMS Toronto, doing a lesson here, quick lesson. And there's a lot of things going on here in Canada, and what's going on in Canada is going from bad to worse, man. A lot of things is happening. We're seeing the fall of our empire. And there's a whole bunch of things going on, man. And we're the seers, right? So we're the ones who's warning our people and these nations as things that's gonna happen, things that's gonna befall this earth, because let me get that scripture. Jeremiah, I think 28. Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence, right? So just like the prophet Jeremiah, like we're doing the same thing what like the prophet Jeremiah was doing, of war, of pestilence, with this whole this COVID, the COVID, and all these pestilence and stuff, that's coming upon the earth, is we're prophesying about this, and it's happening in real time right now. I'm gonna play this video. This is off of TikTok. We're seeing the fall of a great empire. Rest in peace, Canada. Right? This is off of this the TikTok. So we're seeing the fall of their empire, man, and we know, what they have sowed on this land was blood, murder, of the North American Indian, the Reubenites, of the Ishikarites, throughout North, Central, and the Caribbean. Like what they were, the kind of things, the kind of atrocities that was done on our people, man. Numbers 35 verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, right? So the piper has to be paid, man, right? Because they, like they're reaping a lot of, like they reaped a lot of wealth and riches and substance off of our bloodshed, man. The transatlantic slave trade, and a lot of stuff, man. There's a whole transatlantic slave trade, man, and also the Northern Kingdom too. Like they were put into cargo slave ships as well, and brought to certain parts of Europe, like the Caribbean. So these, they have a lot of things, man, like to play, a lot of things to pay for. Defile not the land. It says, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I the Lord dwell among the children of Israel, right? Canada, or Canada, right? Which means Canaan. You know, when you go into that word like Canada or whatever, basically means land of the Canaan, right? Where you know, and you know, because you know we inhabited you know like this land for a long time, for thousands of years. All right, when you go into the second Esdras 13 verse 40, you know, during the time of the Assyrian captivity, right, where basically we were dwelling in the land of Israel, but the kingdom of Israel was split, you know, after the death of King Solomon, you know, with Rehoboam and Jeroboam, and the kingdom was split, you know, and it's like 722 BC, you know, like our people went into the Assyrian captivity, right? And they were in that captivity for a certain amount of time, and they came over to the Americas. All right, if you go into that, kind of all over the place. Don't bear with me, but yeah, let me start this thing.
Introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns.
As of today, a bank or other financial service provider will be able to immediately freeze or suspend an account without a court order.
In a free society, we don't freeze bank accounts. That is the most horrendous thing that failed regimes around the world, in their dying days, you know what they do? They print money, they remove civil liberties, and they freeze bank accounts. It's not that difficult to view what's going on in Canada through a lens of mistrust. And we need leadership to bring the healing once we're through this pandemic.
Yeah, right now, you know, they're freezing people's banks accounts, you know, with the whole trucker convoy. You know, that was last year. Here in Canada, there's a trucker convoy, and they froze a lot of the truckers' accounts and stuff, and it's gonna come here, and you know, the social credit score system, you know, like China's already doing that, you know, and you know, if you jaywalk or you spit, you do something, whatever that's against, you know, like they fine you or they freeze your damn account, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. And this ultimately is gonna lead to the mark of the beast, you know. You know, and basically for the past 2 years with the whole this whole outbreak, this pandemic, is a way to you know, to control people and to get something into their blood, you know, with the luciferase. Right, basically it's like a thing that's connected with you know, it goes into your blood or whatever, and like they could, it's a lot of scientific research, and this is a whole research thing, and it's connected with 5G towers, and everything goes through your bloodline, you know. It's like, it's a whole thing, right? So we gotta be very mindful, you know. Things are gonna get a lot more intense, and they always were showing these things in a lot of these movies, man, you know. When you watch movies like Demolition Man, you know, Total Recall, you know, and all these big, you know, you watch that movie, it's called, I think, The Elysium, No, I think Elysium. A lot of those movies, right? That like basically, that people were basically chipped up, and you had no freedom or nothing, and that's exactly what we're living in, man. So like that's where the Lord's gonna come, because they because they wanna oppress everybody, and ultimately, like they're out for the children of Israel, man. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So that's-
Tell a hater I said, pussy. Tell you. Look
at that. There you go.
even with this, the Chinese and like this guy's is a Canadian patriot, right? And they're trying to basically like come together and try to fight against this guy Justin Trudeau or whatever. But like these guys are just puppets, right? This is a whole thing that's orchestrated by the international bankers, by these elite banking families who run this world. And basically it doesn't matter, because that's why I think in Proverbs it says, though hand join in hand, so the wicked shall not go unpunished. So the wicked, each of you devils and these other nations, man, like you devils aren't gonna go unpunished, you heathen, man. Your kingdom is going right down to the toilet, man. Get Job 20. Their kingdom is going right down the toilet, man.
No, we're not doing it, brother. We're not having any social credit scores. We're not making money because it's not fucking happening. So, fine. Yeah, exactly. We're fighting the most peaceful way ever. Yes, sir. Yeah. Why? Never back. Never. Thank you, brother. We already won. They just don't know.
That's what we're trying to figure out. So basically, what it states on what I can find on the internet for this national framework is a guaranteed livable basic income. So GLBI. The GLBI is a predictable cash payment provided unconditionally by the government to all individuals in Canada who need it, without requirements to work or seek work, training, and education, in order to build on our current social safety net and afford all persons in Canada with a basic income. So that all sounds great, but I thought we already had a social welfare program that takes care of that for people. So I'm just not sure where they're trying to go with this and how this all fits in with the globalization and our digital ID, where we will own nothing and be happy.
WTF is happening.
Yeah, Slakia. Yeah, so this thing is getting real, and things aren't gonna go back to how it was, in the 90s or mid 2000 or the early 2000s. This thing is going down the pipe. World War III is almost at hand. It's basically at hand, but basically the whole MOTB system has to be rolled out. The mark of the beast system that's going to be rolled out on the earth. And that's it, man. And so we gotta be very mindful, look out, because these people, like, they already gave in, you know, like, to getting the vaccination or slack it, because I don't want to mess up the algorithm, but you know that these people already got the dart in their arm or whatever, and you know the dart is connected with you know, with the 5G and everything, the whole system, where it has all your records, everything, and this is the whole system. What you know, the elite are rolling out on the people, right? You know, like this is the whole system, right? Revelation 13 verse start at 14, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which had power to do in the sight of the beast, right? And basically, like, that's what they're basically doing, you know, with these miracles, you know, what they're doing with their science, with their science, and basically this artificial intelligence, you know, that they're rolling out on the people, and they're injecting them, you know, with this CHIP, you know, and basically you know, they're basically saying, yeah, if you're blind, you know, you could have this, and you know, it's doing that. There's a lot of if you watch a lot of go on YouTube, you watch, you know, the benefits of the RFID or the CHIP, you know, like, they're doing a lot of wonders, man. And you know, and you know, they're basically I made a video a couple days ago about driverless cars and all that stuff, you know, like, this is what the devil's rolling out. He already has this shit in motion, right? Driverless cars, you know, driverless trucks or whatever. So, you know, these artificial robots, you know, so, you know, let's say you're working at a factory or whatever, warehouse, or doing, you know, certain kinds of jobs, you know, the damn robots are gonna do everything, man, you know. And so they're messing up people's livelihood, and they're doing a lot of things, right? And the robots were gonna take over, man. You know, that's why they show you those things. When you watch that movie with Will Smith, I, Robot, and all that stuff, and you know, that's real. You know, and the devil, man. This is the devil, man. This is the wicked, man. All right, because he's basically accomplished. He basically has he accomplished a lot of wonders, man. And that's why the Lord's gonna have to, like, put a halt, you know, to their plan, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live, right? So basically, you know, he's living, right? Because you know, because they're in the Middle Ages, you know, the Dark Age, we were in power, right? And we basically fell. The Byzantine Empire, you know, Spain, Portugal, right? We were driven out, you know, for the most part, and you know, and then Esau lived, you know, and he created an image, you know, that he's God, and you know, with his Christianity, and he, you know, where they basically destroyed our images, like, you know, a lot of our images of the saints and the holy saints of our people and all that, and they made himself that he's God, and now he's ruling. He you know, he has the power. He has all the science, the technology, and you know, and Let me continue. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what's going to happen. All right. You know, the people who are going to resist, especially the elect, you know, because the elect aren't going to, you know, get the mark. You know, the Most High knows who their elect is. And they're not gonna get the mark, and they're not gonna be deceived. All right, so the elect are gonna, you know, some of our people are gonna be martyrs. You know, some of the elect will be martyrs, you know, for testimony, you know, but they're gonna be the first, the firstborn, or it's like they're gonna be the first one who's gonna be risen up. You know, when all hell's gonna break loose, man. You know, when the whole World War III is about to kick off and all that, man. You know, and that when the Lord comes, right? He caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so if all these different Israelite groups, if they're not really talking about this, and they're talking about, oh, the mark of the beast is you know, sleeping with white women, or, you know, there's a whole bunch of mad breakdowns of, you know, of these different members who's not, you know, the IUIC, and you know, certain members of these other Israelite sects, and they're not going into it, man. All right, we don't know if you know, like, some of these guys are paid off, and some of these guys are just bugged out, man. You know, and they're being deceived, right? But with that, let us say all praise due to Yahweh Hashem, and share double honor to the apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole members of the elect. Shalom.